Hey there friends, it's Missy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited to be part of the Altenew October 2018 Stamp and Die release blog hop. And I received 2 stamp and die sets that I'm going to use today to make a layout. This is the new Potted Plants stamp and die set. And you can see there's some really awesome leaves on there and some cute little pots that you could just build all kinds of potted plants with. This is the Playful Blooms stamp set and matching die set. And this is perfect for layouts, for cards. I don't really make a lot of cards, and so I'm going to make a layout here today. And so the first thing that I thought of when I saw these leaves was tropical, bright colors. These leaves just remind me of the islands, and so I thought I've got to stamp a lot of green leaves. So I pulled out 3 different colors of green Distress Oxide from my stash, and I'm going to use 2 of the different leaves sets on there. And I'm just mixing and matching the different greens here, trying to get some different variations in color. And I'm going to wind up making a very colorful, tropical-ish layout. And if you like fussy cutting, then you definitely want to get the dies that go with these stamps, because it takes way less time, because I love to fussy cut, but this amazed me at how easy this was. And I'm not a big manual die cutter or stamper. I mean, I do love to stamp and I do stamp on my layouts, but I'm not a I don't do this technique very often, and it was a lot of fun because it came together pretty quickly and it was very easy to do. So the paper that I'm using here, I just tore out of a little notebook that I have. It's a little mixed media notebook that I do a lot of my practice stamping and practice painting in, just to kind of test colors and, you know, before I start on a layout. And I just tore a couple sheets out of that to stamp these on. Now I'm going to use another leaf set here, or not a leaf set, another flower, the other stamp set with the flowers. It's called Playful Blooms, and this is one of those that you can build. You start with the base, which is pretty much the solid background shape of the flower, and then the second one that you use is the little inside pieces of the flower, and you would stamp that in a different color. And then the third one is the outline, and you could do that in black, you could do it in a different color to make it stand out. The possibilities are endless. I decided to make some yellow, some pink, and some blue flowers here, and since I'm using the Distress Oxides, they react really well with water, and so on some of these I spritzed the stamp with water after I stamped it onto the ink pad to kind of water up the image. And I know some people like their stamps to be perfectly crisp, but when I'm using it for a mixed media layout like this, I like the stamped image to be kind of splotchy and runny and messy, especially when it's a flower like this, because I want the colors to kind of blend together, and you know how pretty that looks when watercolors kind of mix and blend. And this was really just kind of an experiment here. I just wanted to see what it would look like with all these different colors. And some of them I sprayed with water, some of them I didn't. But I used a gold ink pad from my stash to stamp the outer outline. So I made a bunch of those, and they're all dry, and now I'm going to use my manual die cutter here with the coordinating dies to cut these out. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I am not afraid to spend some time fussy cutting out shapes or images from stamps like this or pattern paper. But look how fast and easy this is with the dies. It takes out the whole fussy cutting thing. This came together really quickly, and for me that's awesome because I'm a very slow scrapper, and this was a no-brainer. And I'm guessing, you know, like I said, I don't do this a lot, but you could die cut the shapes first and then stamp on top of it after if you wanted to do that way. I'm sure I'm probably doing it the hard way because that's just how I roll usually, but this was pretty easy. And I liked how it turned out. I think these leaves are gorgeous. They look very real. And it was fun making these splotchy, messy flowers. I think this would look cool too if you stamped the outline of the flowers in black. It would really make them crisp and pop off the page. So here we have all the leaves. You can see some of them are darker, some of them are lighter, just because I stamped the block a couple of times without re-inking it. And I've got several different colors and color schemes of flowers, and I'm going to try to arrange these on my background here. I'm just using white cardstock as the background, and I'm using clear gesso here to prime the paper. And here are my two photos. They're actually not, they're two photos, but they're on one strip there, so it's just basically one long photo. It's of me and my sister, and I printed it in color because I thought it would go nicely with all of those bright colors. And I love this technique here. If you use gesso, you could probably do this without gesso, but watch what happens here. This is how gesso works. It allows the colors to run and blend like this without soaking right through onto your paper. So all I did was scrape the ink pads down, spritz it with water, hold it up, let it run and blend, and then I used my little stamping block there to kind of smudge some of the color around. I love how that turned out. I'm obsessed with that background. It was so easy to do. You have to try that. You cannot mess that up. So I kind of took some time off camera to kind of spread the flowers around and layer them under the photo. And now, before I remove everything, I want to glue down together what I can. And so all the clusters will kind of be together, and I'll kind of remember where they're going to go. Because if I just move everything off right now, I will not remember where I put it. And look at the background. I think that's so cool. You have to try that. Now, what I did want to do was I wanted to make the flowers stand out a little bit more, and I felt like they were so bright and the background was so bright. I wanted to kind of soften up and white out the area where the flowers are going to go, so they're going to pop off that color a lot better, because when you have two bold colors right on top of each other, they're kind of going to get lost in each other. And so I just kind of softened up that area there so those flowers would pop off the background a little bit more. So now I'm going to start to build everything. I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper behind my photo there. There you can kind of see what I was talking about with the flower clusters up top. Since I softened up the background, you can see them a lot better. And I just wanted this to look very tropical and bright, and I think so far that's the way it's going. Now I pulled out I think it's the Our Family collection, scrapbook collection from Altenew, and found this paper, and it's already got some really fun watercolor splotches on it, and I thought I would just fussy cut a few of those out to add to the background. And I just think that adds a little bit of something extra as a layer behind the flowers. And it looks like you just did some watercolor on your background, but it's really from that pattern paper. Look how cool that is. So I'm just going to cut out another one to use as another layer. I didn't want to cover up the background too much because I just love how that turned out. So here's the second little splotch that I cut up, and I'm going to use that as a layer as well. And so, you know, these leaves, the potted plants stamp set is very versatile because obviously it's designed for you to use these leaves inside the pots, but I didn't even use the pots. I'm using them as leaves kind of sprigging out from the flowers, and I think they look really pretty that way. So that leaf set is very versatile. I think you could use it for a lot of different things. Now I'm pulling in some coordinating colors here around the page with some thread. I've got that deep orangey golden yellow color over on the left. I've got some hot pink down at the bottom, some aqua over to the right. And this is some adhesive foam from my stash. I get asked about this foam a lot. I know a lot of scrappers use it. It is from Walmart, and it's in the craft aisle. And it comes in a little 5x7 sized shape of 40 different sheets for like, I think $5. And it's perfect for this kind of stuff here. Now I'm just gluing everything down. I don't want anything to move. Like I said, if I move it, I'll never get it back like I want it. So I'm going to start to glue it all down. Make sure it's straight. I'm a very messy scrapper, but yet some things I have to have straight or it really bothers me. Now this is another die cut from that Our Family scrapbook collection, but I wanted it to make it stand out. It was too light, so I'm just going to go back to some of those Distress oxides that I used and kind of paint over it and add some color to it. And this took me a while because I felt like at first it was too colorful and it blended in with all the colors because there's so much color going on. But I just kept playing with it until I got it like I liked it. You know, if you have something that's one color and you don't feel like you can use it because it doesn't match, paint it. And if you can't add paint to it, add some gesso to it first and then paint it. I'm still having trouble with it because I feel like it's too colorful and it blends into the background. So I'm just going to keep going with it. I tried to make it all yellow, and that really didn't work either. When in doubt, just paint over it. I like that better, but not perfect. So I wound up adding some more pink to it and some more of the aqua, and I just decided to go with it. And it still does blend in. That's the only thing about using a colorful title with a colorful background, is it's going to blend in a little bit, but that's okay. I'm using the same colors to add some splatters there. You know, and I didn't want to add black to this because it's so bright and colorful. I felt like a black title would just sort of darken everything and it would stand out a lot. And I didn't necessarily feel like I have to have a title, but yeah, that's where I dropped some gold ink right on my face on that picture. But luckily I was able to wipe it off before it dried. I was having a freak out moment. One of the last things I'm going to do is add some lines and a little bit of journaling. And I'm using a gold metallic pen, and I got that from Michael's several years ago in a pack of 3. It came with silver and copper also. I did have some leftover flowers, so I'm going to create a little cluster over there on the left just to kind of pull all of the colors over to that side of the layout. And just seeing if there's a spot for anything extra. But I decided that that's the final layout, and I love how this turned out. I love the flowers from the stamp set. I love those leaves. I love how this turned out. I think it's very fun and tropical and colorful, and it was a lot of fun to make. And make sure you check out the link below and you leave comments over on the Altenew card blog and the scrapbook blog, because they're going to be giving away 6 $50 gift cards to Altenew. And make sure you visit all of the Blog Hop designers, because a lot of them are going to be giving away $30 gift cards. So there are a ton of opportunities for you to win prizes. So check out the links below and check out my layout on my blog, and the information will be there as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.